Director of Construction, and this is probably my 5th or 6th presentation before you. We completed phase 1 of our construction project in the north end. We actually completed all the permanent paving of the work that we had done as we had promised. So the good news is we're coming back to visit you again. The contract was bid yesterday. I can't disclose yet who the lucky contractor is. The value of this work is considerably more than our first phase. It's about $7 million worth of work. The unfortunate thing is this phase is a little bit more intrusive. There's a lot of pipes in this section that need to be replaced. So on your handout, you can't see exactly the limits of the work as well. So we've provided them underneath on the front of the page. So if you live in that block, you know that you'll be coming to see you soon. So all the blue lines on this is the water work. We don't have a schedule from the contractor yet, but based on the complexity of some of the work, I would envision that he may be going to the simpler streets first, which would be the 2 little water mains. Hanover Avenue is probably the most difficult street in the project. It needs sewer and water work, but in order for us to get down to our pipes, the gas main needs to be moved. So the gas company's going to have to find a slot, but I'm not sure there is a slot. So we're going to be working very closely with the gas company on a few relocations.
Fortunately, it's a huge street.
It's very wide. It's almost the width of that table. So we'll be walking down that street. As part of this project, there are 2 streets outside the district off of Winter Street. We have 2 more huge alleys over there that both their water mains need to be replaced as well. And they're breaking, so they're the priority. They're going to have to mobilize there first. So we don't expect any work to actually start until probably the end of September, beginning of October. Last winter we were really lucky because we didn't get a lot of snow and we had a lot of lining work. So on this project we don't have as much lining, but we do have like on a few of the streets, a little bit of lining. So we might be coming in the winter time until it gets too cold and then the equipment just doesn't run. The major part of the project that we are going to have is in the North Square area. And if you may be able to see that these 2 photos are actually pictures of inside the sewer system. And you can see that, like all of us, as we get older, we get a few cracks and wrinkles. Yes, even you do. And so this pipe is actually starting to fail. So we can't line a pipe that's starting to lose its circular pipe. So we have to actually come in and dig those. So in concert with the city, Public Works Department has promised that they're going to be redoing North Square. They're letting us get in there ahead of them to get our improvements done. As you can see, Richmond Street, we have 2 water mains there. We have a low pressure and a high pressure system. Both of those need to be replaced. North Street needs to have its water mains replaced. Then we do have a little bit of luck. We can line parts of North Street, but then we have to relay other sections. So unfortunately, this will be a lot more intrusive. It's very similar to how we managed Hanover Street, and I think for the complexity of the people and the businesses and the traffic on Hanover Street, I think it went as well as we could have hoped. And we do really appreciate the patience of all the abutters on Hanover Street because it was very cooperative and it made it a pleasant job for both sides. So again, you know, we'll be implementing a rodent control plan. That was the primary purpose of coming in, was to help reduce rodent activity. We will be doing more notices. Once we have a schedule, we can come back and visit you again in September or October. If you feel it's appropriate, we can even just give you the schedule and you can post it online. We always do notices to our customers in advance. That's usually about 2 weeks before. We know that parking is critical in the city. We don't take those spaces overnight. We restore the streets at the end of each day. So.
And the schedule is construction from September to November, 3 months, starting early?
Well, I think you have to look at the years there.
No, years.
Oh, I see, September 2018. Well, the construction schedule then is September 2016 to the freeze, or do you guys go through the whole?
So, for like some of the lining work, we can actually do that in the winter. We'll probably stop January, February, because even then it's usually too cold for even those processes. The water mains only can be done from April to November, because you have to be put on bypass, and then the bypass would freeze. So, we'll have to wait till the sequencing of what this work is. And we generally don't want to come to a street to do half and then come back. But, you know, we may come in and do the sewer here in Richmond in the fall, and then come back in the spring to do the water. But I don't direct the contractor in the sequence. We do have a couple of priorities, but,
But
you
do
know,
you anticipate continuous work or hiatuses?
probably add it in, well, right between, well, Christmas, obviously, we won't hear it. January, February, probably not. Probably come back in March, and then we'll be here all the way through to November. And, I mean, this is the extent of what we will allow him to do. But as you know, the first contract, the first phase went much faster. He didn't use all of the time, which then allowed us to get permanent paving done before we came into phase 2. So once again, we're finishing this up, you know, as we get, say whatever, if we get these smaller streets done this year and this fall, we would be back first thing in the spring next year to permanent pave those.
Questions?
Your plan is to do one street at a time sequentially, you're not going to be doing multiple streets at the same time?
Generally, the contractor brings in 2 crews. I would anticipate that he'll have a major crew working in the North Square area, and then the others at jump streets. We're very sensitive to traffic patterns, detours, things like that.
So you'll be releasing a schedule of which
Yes.
streets, okay, and will there be a loss of water to residents?
Anyone that's on the limit of the work, they get put on bypass. The only time that we do a scheduled shutdown is like when we're tying into, say we have a connection into Hanover Street that we need to tie into. Hopefully we have valves in the intersection, so maybe people won't lose water. But we investigate that beforehand, and any time that we need to do a shutdown, we let people know ahead of time. And it's always 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in a residential area. In a commercial area, we try to go to the business and say, what's the best time? Most of them say, well, if we could do it from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m., that's right before our lunchtime, so that's best. The work hours, the transportation department has given us 8 a.m. To 4 p.m. again, so that we're off the street before the restaurants open in the evening, and we like to sleep in a little bit later than the residential areas outside of the night. I know we're
More questions?
busy, but
Well, thank you very much for the update. This is great.